Welcome back to Crypto Spaces, back with another Monad update for you guys. Thank y'all so much for all the support, man. I'm seeing my viewership absolutely explode, and I just want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm hoping that I'm helping you guys with your with your journey in the crypto space. I know it's very tough, especially 2025. Last year was extremely tough, and the market feels so strange, so different compared to what it was in 2024 and previously to 2024, right? So if I'm helping in any way, and you guys support the channel, I truly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for that, right? Monad right now, again, looking great. Just under 29 cent, almost at 3 cent, guys. Like, Monad is in a fantastic spot. I'm telling you guys, this thing is absolutely gonna crush it. And I think, like I said, 50,000 to 100,000 Monad coins is the way to go, right? You don't have to overinvest here because, again, like I said, the upside potential is massive. This is potentially a 100x project, right? If you were buying at 200 mil market cap, 210 mil market cap, which is at 1.8 cent, 1.5 cent and lower, your entry from that point would be 100x to 20 billion market cap. I've already went through it. For Monad to get to 20 billion market cap, it just has to flip Cardano. I, for one, have used these chains. I, for one, have traded on all of these chains. I traded on ICP. I traded on Say. I traded on Cardano. And especially Cardano. Cardano is so slow. It's very slow. It's slow, right? I know Cardano has this massive cult-like following like XRP, but that's really what's propping up these value propositions for projects like Cardano and XRP, man. What's really propping them up is the cult-like community that's been here because they were like one of the first L1s at the time. So they've just grown with the rest of the market, and their community has continuously grown as well. But if you use the actual product and chain and you compare it to a project like Monad, no disrespect to Cardano, but Monad is better. It's better. It just is. I've used Cardano. I got a 30x on SNEC, right? SNEC is a Solana, a Cardano meme. Just to tell you guys, I'm not like, when I say I use the chains, I'm being serious, right? I bought SNEC somewhere around here at the lows, right? SNEC on Cardano. I set up the wallet at the time. What was the wallet called? Nami wallet. I set up the Nami wallet at the time. I went in to use the swap, Mina swap or something like that, and it was so clunky. I was like, yo, what's going on with this? This is worse than Ethereum. I know Ethereum had high gas fees, and man, say had in the past, right? That's the past. But I was like, yo, this is worse than Ethereum. So I use the chains. I think like a lot of people in the space, they own these assets and they don't actually use them. They don't actually use the ecosystem. They just buy some Cardano and then just hold it. They don't use the Cardano, right? I use the things in this space just to get my, just to look for opportunities and, potentially, be successful even more so, right? So I bought SNEC somewhere at these lows way back, and then boom, it went up and got like, a massive move on SNEC, right? And, got like a 20 to 30x on SNEC. This is a Cardano meme, right? And all the time while using, Cardano, I was like, yo, this is so clunky. The interfaces are so weird looking. Like, it's so clunky, it's so slow. When I moved over to Monad, the only reason I started to look into it is because I realized crypto Twitter hated Monad. But then I, swapped from Sol, I swapped from ETH. And I was like, oh, wow, this is actually so easy to use. Like, because it's EVM, I'm already an ETH guy. I already like BNB. So it's just like right there, right? So I just swapped over some ETH and Sol and Phantom. Got MetaMask as well. I started trading on it. I was like, it's so seamless. It's so seamless. Like, it fits right in. It's right there for me. Like, so it was just a seamless transition to Monad, right? So I'm just speaking from somebody that use these protocols, because a lot of y'all, you guys buy Monad, but you don't actually use Monad. So I'm speaking from one who has a user experience with these L1s, right? So this is why I say, when I say I think Monad could flip Cardano, I'm not joking when I say I really do think that's the case, right? Because I've traded on both chains, right? I think Monad could flip Cardano, right? 20 bill market cap from here, I think is very possible. I truly think that's the case, right? So again, Monad in a great spot. Like I said, 50 to 100,000 coins is the way to go. You don't have to overinvest, right? Right now, 50,000 coins is $1,414 in the Monad. 100,000 coins is $2,829, right? Someone commented and said they had 130,000 Monad. I was like, nice bag, right? They were so proud that they did that, right? So, you know, again, never invest more than you're willing to lose. It doesn't take much to go far in the space. You just have to be strategic, right? That person that bought 130,000 Monad, they hold to like 50 cents to $1 to $2. They take profits along the way, on the way up. They be strategic. They keep in the moon bag no matter what, because this thing could, you know, crush our ball sacks off. It could crush our balls off and just go to a crazy parabolic levels, right? But you have to be strategic. So you take profits on the way up, you know, 20 cent first take profit, 50 cent, $1, $2, right? Be strategic, right? So yeah, man, I see Monad being absolutely amazing from here, being fantastic. We're going to transition into one of the memes on the ecosystem, which is Moncock, right? I talked about Moncock at 200K market cap. Right now it's at 616K. Like I said in my previous videos, if you were following along, paying attention and playing around in the ecosystem like me, you would have already been, you would have gotten like already be up 2 to 3x. 2 to 3x on a lot of the Monad memes, right? You're already up 2 to 3x. So now you could de-risk if you want to. You could take some profits out, take your initials out of Moncock, which is a smart thing to do, and then let the rest ride to Valhalla, right? And at the time, like I said, you could have bought a million Moncock for $200 on the 23rd of December, right? That's when I talked about it, just under 200K market cap, right? $200 and around $200 got you a million Moncock, and now that is $617. So your $200 went up 3x, 246. 3x your investment, whatever you decided to invest at the time. 3x your investment in the past, what, 7 days, 8 days? Now, I know it's, you know, like I said, it's memes, so it's very risky. Now, imagine if you took the massive risk and put in $2,000. You'd have 6K right now. 6,700. 6,000, not 6,700. $6,160 right now from 2K invested. Imagine Moncock goes to 10 mil market cap. Your million coins at the time from $200 becomes $10,000. Let me show you the line right here. 10 mil market cap. Boom. Your million coins becomes $10,000. And if you bought 10 million coins, 1% of the supply, I never tell you how to invest like that. But if you bought 1% of the supply, that's going to be 100K. At 10 mil market cap. Do I think Moncock could get a 10 mil market cap? Easy. Easy target of 10 mil market cap. So easy. Right? So right now, if you still want to be a part of the trade, I still think it's cheap for a million Moncock, right? Still think it's cheap for a million Moncock, at least at this point. Maybe you could just buy half, like $300 now, and get 500K. $320 gets you 500K. But a million right now is $617 for a million Moncock. I still think it has many multiples ahead because Monad has not taken off yet, right? It hasn't, right? So if you learn the chain, go watch my how to buy video somewhere on the channel. Just type in how to buy Monad memes. I should potentially pop up, I think. And then you could get some exposure to Moncock. You don't have to get the full million now because it's kind of like getting too pricey, right? I don't want you guys tossing in a rack, $1,000 into a meme, you know, that's so low cap. So if you want to be a part of the trade, you get $300 in to Moncock here, $320, and you get 500K Moncock. And then Moncock goes to 10 mil market cap, right? That's going to be 5K. You make half of the 10K, 5K. 5K is a lot of money. Then you could take the 5K and use it to reinvest for the future. I'm just saying, right? So this is why I say I've traded these networks. I've traded Cardano. I've traded Sui. I've traded Say. I've traded ICP. I've traded Sol. I've traded ETH. I've traded Avalanche. I've traded. The list goes on. And out of all of these that I've traded, Monad is one of the best chains because it's so seamless, because it's EVM, but it's also fast and smooth, right, with the transactions. Very fast and smooth. Not only is it easy to access from EVM standpoint, but it's extremely fast, right? I've used Say, and again, the wallets and everything, the setup for Say feels clunky to me, man. It really does. It doesn't feel like, you know, and the community and culture of Say, even though it's okay, but the community and culture of Say is not there. You also have to have community and culture as well, which Monad has. This is why Cardano and XRP are so highly valuated, because of the cult-like community of Cardano and the cult-like community of XRP. Even though the chains are so clunky and slow, or not that great chains, like using the chains, buying memes and NFTs on the chains, it's not that great, in my opinion, compared to Monad, right? Monad is better. But because they have this cult-like community, that's why you see such high valuations for them. So Monad also has that. It has the tech, and it has a cult-like community, which only few projects have that. And Solana, for example, is one of those, right? Sui kind of is as well. Sui also kind of has that, right? So Solana is one of them that has the tech and has the cult-like community, right? So this is why Monad, potentially to me, is a Solana killer. Of the Solana move of 2020 to 2021, that's the move I see for Monad happening in the future, right? And that move for Solana only took a year. It only took a year, so we got a year ahead of us, man. So as always, none of this is financial advice. Like and subscribe. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Buy some Moncock, buy some Monad. Even if you just get a bit of exposure, man, you gotta win. You're in the market. It don't make sense to be holding altcoins that just bleed to zero or go sideways when there's actual performers here. Go and try to make some money, guys. Go try to make some money. Cut all the weak coins and buy the strong coins, in my opinion. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.